this is Kevin with the Pied Piper Podcast, and I want to thank you for being here today. And I want to talk to you about something that's bugging me, something that has been bothering me over the last couple of weeks because I've heard more and more about this thing that's going on. It's a trend, it's something that is trending in our society. And at the Pied Piper Podcast, we want to keep aware of those things. We want to see what's going on, make you aware of them, and then find ways to change it. That's right. Our examples can change things. Light can dispel the darkness, as the Bible talks about it. And so the thing that's been bothering me is this deal called family estrangement, where families are being torn apart by religious beliefs, opinions, by political beliefs and opinions, numerous other things that are taking place that's infiltrating and destroying the family. And we know that's exactly what the devil wants to do. And the Bible talks about it in Matthew 10 and in other places where our families are going to be tested and at times torn. I was reading a little thing that talked about this phrase I've heard before. It's called the tie that binds. It comes from a hymnal, an old hymnal, and it was used in a play back in the day by a guy named Thornton Wilder. The play is called Our Town, and it says this: "Blessed be the ties that bind our hearts in Christian love. The fellowship of kindred minds is like to that above." The ties that bind families together. That we never let anything destroy us because we're family, we're blood. And those things are what are being destroyed today. And the trend that is happening is that adult children or parents are not communicating anymore. They've cut each other off for one reason or another. The tie that binds, I want to describe this so you understand what is supposed to happen. It refers to the emotional and social connection between individuals or groups, often highlights shared experiences, values, or beliefs that unite the people. Can be seen in family relationships, friendships, and community bonds. Emphasizes loyalty, commitment, mutual support among connected parties. Used in various contexts, including literature, sociology, and psychology. And listen to this one here. Represents the idea that these connections can influence behavior and make decisions. The ties that bind, we stick together as family, the family of God, the body of Christ. And we have to see what is taking place here and how are we going to deal with it? Because the fact is it's happening. It is happening. It's being reported more in the news, on articles, on TV programs, and different things like that. We're seeing this family estrangement take place. And it shouldn't be any surprise to us because we know the Bible, as I mentioned earlier, has talked about this and told us that these things are going to happen. But we can come against it. And that's the thing I want to challenge you with. I received a picture from a friend of ours the other day. And she took this picture and then she came over to the house and she told us about it. She said her daughter-in-law, it's a picture of her daughter-in-law at the altar praying in a church. And right behind her was her husband praying with his hands lifted up. And then the kicker of all is the 9-year-old son on his knees praying behind his dad. That's the fifth gospel. We talked about that in another podcast. But that's the example that we need to be showing to others, that our commitment to Christ and to one another is stronger than any political or religious thing that's out there. Any decision, it could be just an opinion on what's going on in our society today. It could be opinion on, who's president or whatever things that they're doing that you don't like. This trend happens, and we need to understand that it's taking our kids away. It's taking parents away from their children, and they're seeing this, and it's what we call, and we'll later talk about a little bit more, copycat. Have you ever heard of that term, copycat? People will copy what other people do, whether it's good or bad, and they'll copy it. And then they'll want their 15 seconds of fame and try to impress people by what they did. But here's what I want to talk about. You and I can be that example of families that are tied together, that are close. I want you to look around because in your body of Christ, in the church you attend, or in society and different groups that you may be a part of, you're going to find people that didn't have a good example to grow up when they were growing up to follow. Um, Parents who beat each other up, parents who were drug addicts, parents who were not there for their children. And so their children are going to repeat that same thing. That's that copycat, that chip off the old block type of a mentality that we have as it's part of who we are as human beings. And so I want you to begin to look. If you're a couple and you're doing the best you can to follow Christ, find another couple that maybe didn't have that kind of example growing up. Find someone, if you're a man and you are following Christ and you're trying to do the best to keep your focus on Him, find somebody that didn't have that. And you hear about them in different groups and different situations, and reach out to them to be their example. That's what we can do to change this. And we can do it because with God and His help, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And we must be the light. We can't hide it under a bushel. We can't try to put it out. We've got to send the light out to the world around us and make a difference in your family, in your community, in your neighborhood, at your workplace. I know people are doing it, and we're going to talk to them about what they're doing and what they're seeing in their workplace as they shine the light and become an example to follow. Would you like, would you subscribe, would you follow the Pied Piper Podcast?